Real truth is, how do you know that someone has an ego until they lose it? Reality is, that's all a bunch of bullshit. No one really needs an ego, and no one really needs to function with an ego. The ego is for the matrix, it is for the system, it is for you to progress and act on impulse in the world, which is all just a bunch of bullshit in the end of the day. But people think you need an ego to function, but in reality, your ego is just a mask. Some people have multiple egos. Some people have a shadow self. I like to have more communion with my shadow self because I consider my ego to be devoid of passion, because I see that no one really has the drive enough to actually be intelligent, regardless of what situation they're in, regardless of how they're forced to be around people. Most of the people have egos and they are bots. It's reality, man. You either play the game and you fall with them, or you disconnect in one moment and you consider them nothing. Well, intuition speaks for itself. You don't have to have no ego or a ego to have intuition. Intuition you're born with. Some people more than others, that's a fact. And yeah, you were born with it. The more you develop your first eye, your sense of intuition, your sixth sense, you realize that most people don't even give a fuck about you, and it's better kept that way because they don't have that much going on. It doesn't matter if you are proud, it doesn't matter if you are the best thing ever. In the end of the day, how consciously aware of you are you of yourself, of your actions, of what you do? Are you a benefit to society? Are you a benefit to the world? Are you a benefit to the universe? Put the world aside. Are you a benefit to your own self? Do you have self-defeating thoughts that lead nowhere, or are you actually in tune with your higher self? Do you listen? Do you have um, moments where you're connecting the dots, or are you just a bot living in fear for the rest of your life? These are choices that you have to make. And the more you disconnect from what getting in line is supposed to mean, which we are all suffering with, because when you go to school, you're getting in line. When you go to college, you're getting in line. When you go get a job, you're getting in line. But when you step out of the line and say, I ain't having it, you open up a new bridge to commune with your higher self, which is nothing like your lower self. And your lower self knows three things: eat, sleep, and sex, right? This is obvious. But when you disconnect from the lower three chakras, you allow yourself to experience something better, which can't ever be bought. Even with money, you can't buy it. It's something that's constantly happening, and it changes. It's not like every day is going to be perfect. Some days you will feel shit for no reason, but you have to get through. You have to fight through. It's a spiritual war out here. Those who have their intuition live with their intuition. And those who don't, they'll never have their intuition, period. They're not using it. It's like, imagine you had a strong right arm and you never used it ever. It will become weak. That's a fact. This is also a muscle. You need to train this eye to see reality for what it is. There are racists out here. There are people. There are pedophiles. There are freaks. There are beasts out here who don't even have a human conscience enough to have a higher self. They can't think. If you talk to them, all they'll think about is some bot shit. They won't have a higher conscience. That's why the awakening is already happening. The war is already happening. It's in your mind. And it's beyond mind. It starts in your mind and it goes all over the cosmos. People don't have a conscience. If you think you have to go outside and beat the shit out of people to become a man, you don't have a conscience. If you think that you are better than someone else because you are just the way you are, you have an ego, and you are allowed to, no offense, you are allowed to have an ego. But these skunk bags who are behind the who are playing the cards. They know what they're doing when they vaccinate people. They know what they're doing when they give people jobs that are underpaying. They know what they're doing when they school people and make them believe in their history, which is really bullshit. I'll tell you a secret. All my school days, I studied and studied, but I realized that it was all a bunch of bullshit. They program you to be a slave. They program you to act like you need something from them. So when the time comes, they'll show you a middle finger and give you a suit and tie to wear, and now you're perfecting the art of being a failure around them. You don't need them. Point blank period. You don't need them. All you need to do is disconnect. You don't need to give them your energy. You don't need to give them your time. They think they know what God and envy and love and all these complicated emotions are, but they don't know shit. They're really latching off your energy. So protect your energy, protect your vibe. Stay real with it. The closest people are the ones who are the shittiest to you. And that's a fact, because you don't know who is close to you until you actually hit rock bottom within yourself to realize that these people don't care. They don't care. They won't ever care. And it's the saddest part of this entire thing is the people with the most sensitive hearts go through the most because they have to stay strong. There's no space for fear when you know that you can sleep every single day. Like, what do you need now, right? Try being awake. Try being alert enough to be consciously awake. Peace. Thank you for watching all my videos. Like, comment, and subscribe.